All right, we are back. At least we're supposed to be back. Sorry there for the connection issue. Guys, let me know if you can see me and hear me and stuff like that. We should be back, hopefully. Hopefully we should be back. Whilst I'm readjusting some stuff. Snom is here. Nice, nice, nice. Good stuff. Back. Yeah, sorry people. Not me, not me. It's the internet connection. Something happened, something crashed for like a minute. It was my internet, it was on my end. Now it seems to be okay. Hopefully it's not gonna happen again. No, it can happen to anyone. It can happen to anyone. Let me just make sure that stuff is okay. I guess because it's technically a new stream, I think YouTube will classify it as a new stream. Then you need to like the stream again. Yeah, you gotta like it again. Unbelievable. It's double the work. It's double the work. But I'm not sure. I'm not sure. 97. Yeah, so welcome back, people. Already did. Nice. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So yes, I guess you caught my question as to what move you guys would play, right? Bishop c5. A knight d7. So I did play knight d7. They have guessed my move. It's not the most correct, though. I don't know if you heard me say that, but knight d7 is okay. So I played knight d7 with the very obvious idea of hitting that pawn, which can be defended quite easily, of course. But so yeah, hitting that pawn and then maybe castling in the future as well. And there is nothing particularly wrong with knight d7. It's just that the position from dead equal, like all zeros, turns into still equal, but maybe white can start claiming an edge at some point. Knight d7. So, and this is the position where white has, after knight d7, white has the only move to fight for an advantage. All the others are kind of sucky. Just one move here for white to try and really push for an advantage. All the other ones are kind of not very good. Also, because it's a new stream, I think, I'm not sure. But because it's a new stream, everyone, you should like it again. If you like the first one, you should like it again because it's a new stream. So what do you think? What do you think white should play in this position? Like I said, white has only one move to try and fight for an advantage. All the other moves make it very comfortable for black. Bishop h6, hanging the bishop. What? F4. F4 is Max's idea. Well, yeah, don't forget that this pawn is kind of hanging because my knight is attacking that pawn. Or knight f3. Or knight f3. I don't know. What was black supposed to play instead of knight d7? I'll get to that. I'll get to that. Hi, Kat. What's up? We just started looking at the game that I played today. So this pawn is hanging, like we said, like I said, and there are multiple ways you can go about defending it. The question is, which way is the best way? Because remember, in this position, only one move for white claims an advantage. All the others are kind of crap. Max keep insisting with f4. There are some ideas of knight f3, also bishop b4. Exclam isn't revealing the result. Yeah, of course I'm not. You will see. Alright, so The correct way to go about it, king c2. Well, king c2 kind of doesn't defend the pawn. King e3. King e3 is very illegal. Very illegal. Bishop d3. Okay, so the correct move, people, is f4, like Max was suggesting. And it makes a lot of sense. And it makes a lot of sense because with f4, we're actually threatening f5 even and trying to like trap the bishop and stuff, and it's very unpleasant. So Black needs to be very careful when, you know, going about his business now. And if you play knight f3, you kind of lock the f-pawn down. You want to probably get space and then play knight f3. So yes, you hung a rock. Is that a question? So obviously the threat of f5 is imminent, so we need to do something about it. But I don't have to do anything about it immediately. I can castle. I can... Well... Shit. I thought I castled. I thought I castled here. Well, I guess I treated it immediately. Oh boy. Oh Jesus, I'm so dumb. I was like, oh, there is this threat, but you don't have to treat it immediately. You can castle, but it turns... I thought I castled here. What a bloody idiot. But I played g6. Yeah, g6 is also good. g6 is stopping f5. I thought I castled, but I castled the move later. Knight f3 and now castles. Knight f3 and now castles, and this position is, you know, it's okay. It's okay. The material's still equal, but we have mutual threats and weaknesses. What was Black supposed to play instead of knight d7? Yes, thank you. So, coming a little bit back, in this position where I played knight d7, where I said that knight d7 isn't like the best move, it's okay, but it's not the best. Instead, what the engine suggests is knight h6. Sorry, knight h6. Knight a6, and you're like, what? Knight a6, what the hell are you smoking? But knight a6, you know, makes a lot of sense. Makes a lot of sense. Knight a6 can go to b4, and then go here, for example, and do a lot of nasty stuff. Since this pawn that I threatened with knight d7 isn't going to get captured anyway because it can be easily defended, we may as well not place a knight on d7, but a6, so we can maybe like hop it out and about, like probably before, and then, you know, get here and stuff like that. So yeah, and knight on d7 doesn't block, like castling comes with check for all that's worth. But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't play knight a6. I played knight d7, so who cares? But you would lose a bishop if you didn't. What do you mean? Like, if I castled here, instead of playing g6, remember that there is this threat of discoveries. So f5, doing my bishop isn't exactly the best idea. I can take that pawn with check, and, you know, then I can go to d7 with my bishop. So I guess I answered your question. So knight f3 castles, king c2 wants to obviously get out of trouble with discovered attacks. And now I played... I was just wondering what age you were when you turned 21. 21? Is that a trick question? So, yes. In this position, after king c2, I played knight h6. And knight h6 had a very distinct idea. Knight h6 is a very distinct idea. I wanted to go to g4, because I was expecting this bishop to come to e3 at some point. I was expecting that bishop to come to e3 at some point. I'm like, I need to do something about my knight anyway. I didn't feel like knight e7 is a good idea, because what's my knight gonna do to... What's my knight gonna do from e7? It blocks my bishop and it doesn't have any squares from e7. Don't you just lose c4? Nah, not really. Just wait for that. So knight g5, addressing Max's question, I suppose. So knight on g5 threatens that bishop, and this bishop is very important because it obviously defends my c4 pawn. I guess that's what you know, Max was asking. Here I played knight c5. Here I played knight c5. And knight on c5 has lots of purposes. It can go to like a bunch of squares from here on out. Very interesting squares, by the way. And essentially, I don't know why the engine says it's so bad. b5. But it really can't. I'm surprised. When I was looking at this game before, the engine wasn't giving that scary numbers. So the engine says knight takes, pawn takes, and then takes here. Is it the game? Am I being dumb? Sorry. The knight is stuck defending the pawn. I need to check. Is that the correct order of the game? Sorry, people. Sorry. It's just that I'm confused. I want to check. Okay. Can I check? Just a moment, people, because when I checked the game immediately, it wasn't as bad. And I was like, oh boy, this is my score sheet. This is my score sheet. And sorry, give me a second. Yeah, so it's not exactly correct. Yeah, sorry guys, I apologize for that mishap. So after king c2, yes, now we're back on it. After king c2, I played knight c5 because yeah, this stopped making any sense. I played c5 now. In the position I was showing you, I played knight h6 first. And now I'm playing knight c5 first, which is better. Because yeah, something was off. Tournaments are fun. The Dutch defense sucks. It doesn't suck, my friend. Welcome to the stream. Or should I say welcome back to the stream, because this nickname sounds vaguely familiar. I think I've seen you, my friend, before in my streams, unless I'm confusing something. I think Dutch defense sucks. I saw that nickname before. I played you, yeah. Like I said, it sounded vaguely familiar. Welcome back to the stream, my friend. We're looking at my tournament game. And knight c5 was played. I was random person. Well, you're not that random anymore. Knight c5. So, if you don't understand knight c5, it's very simple to understand actually. It opens up the rook and it prepares knight d3 if I so wish to play it. And now let me make sure that everything is correct with my stuff. Yeah, bishop e3 now, which is the best move for white. And yes, and now knight h7. Yes, all of these are the best moves. So knight c5 best move, bishop e3 the best move, knight h6 the best move. Now knight h6 makes a bit more sense, right? Because yeah, now I am hitting the bishop on e3 after knight g4 if I'm allowed to, right? And now the position isn't that terrible. I'm not losing like c4. Sorry for the mishap again. I just need to check with my score sheet every now and again now. And now comes knight g5 with the same idea. Wants to take my bishop that protects the pawn, so instant connectedness of everything. And at the same time, I'm playing knight g4. I'm like, you take my bishop, I take your bishop. So yes, the idea is simple. This bishop is attacked and it needs to be treated in some way, right? Who will win, Frank or Jarvis? I don't understand this. I know Jarvis, but what's his Frank? So what do you do with that bishop? What do you do with that bishop, people? I am posing that question to you. In this position, white has only one move, again, to keep the position in his favor. Our bishop is attacked, and you cannot really ignore that, I don't think. You can't take this bishop, because this bishop is going to be taken with check, so you're going to be dropping a piece. So you've got to address this attack of the bishop somehow, right? And there is only one move that white can do to retain an advantage. In this position, white is better. Only one move keeps that advantage. All the others kind of suck. Sack the bishop. Hi there, Yellow Shizily. Welcome back to the stream. I like your attitude. I don't think you would want to do that in a tournament. Bishop g1 looks ugly. Takes knight. Yeah, so we've got different ideas. We've got bishop g1. We've got bishop takes knight. Max says bishop takes knight doesn't work. Could you explain why, Max? I'm not saying it doesn't work. I'm just curious as to why you think it may not work. Yellow Shisley, where do you come from, my friend? What country? Welcome to the stream. We are on day 10 of our STREAM-A-THON. We're trying to get to 50 viewers as quickly as we can. And our current record is like 16. And, you know, I need every bit of your help, guys, to do that, to achieve that target. So, like the stream if you're liking the analysis and the interactions. Sub if you haven't already. Click the notification bell not to miss the next streams. And yes, welcome to the community. Nicholas says, well, Nicholas is also here. Nice. I think kind of what is okay. Bishop takes knight and takes bishop and bishop takes c4. So what Max is suggesting, this, right? So takes, and then knight e3 check. Yes, you're correct. Can you post the PG in a Discord? Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. So the Max's line is correct. So basically, if you're trying to be clever, here with the bishop that has been attacked, if you want to take the knight, and then you want to take the bishop to win the c4 pawn, you can do it in this line, but don't forget that after knight takes bishop, we have this interesting intermezzo check of the king, and all of this is blocked off by the rook, so the king has to go either to c1 or b1. And now we can take the knight, and the c4 pawn is defended by this fella, and the king is kind of shit. Max is going to go watch PogChamps. Are you? Is PogChamps on? Interesting. So, bishop g1 is the correct idea. Deadlock, was it Deadlock who said bishop g1 looks ugly, but bishop g1 is correct. Bishop g1, it doesn't look ugly actually. Bishop on g1 is just as good as on e3. Bishop g1 is an amazing bishop. You may argue that, well, you know, but the rook is stuck. Chances are these bishops are going to, you know, let loose anyway. Like, the rook is going to get unstuck at some point. These bishops are great. Bishop g1 is the only move to retain the advantage for white. Nicholas missed the check. Yeah, bishop g1 it is. So after bishop g1, what's up, man? Hi, welcome back, Nick. How are you doing? It's nice to have you back on the stream. 2 days in a row now, 2 out of 2, 100%. Yeah, we're just looking at my game that I played in round 5 today. And now the best move and the move that I did play is knight d3. We finally got that knight on d3, and that knight is looking cool, right? So knight's on the 6th, supported by a pawn. Nice, nice, looking good. White is still better though. White is still better because there are still a lot of counter threats. And don't forget that so my opponent took the bishop and took on a7. Took on a7. Now white is a pawn up, And this pawn is like, it can be a bit shaky, and that pawn can be a bit shaky. But in this position, there is a move that I missed completely, which makes it better for me. And it's a move that I never considered because it felt slightly counterintuitive to me when I first saw it. But then when I saw it, I was like, oh, okay, it kind of makes a bit of sense. So, can you find the only move to turn the tide of the position in black's favor? Like, there is only one move that makes black instantly better, but I never considered it. I thought it was bizarre when I first saw it. Like, when I first analyzed the game. All the other moves, the advantage is kind of back in white's hands a little bit. C5. C5 deadlock says. You want to try and trap the bishop, you say? Any other ideas? I'm not saying C5 is wrong, I'm just looking for other input. One move here for black to gain an advantage, like a proper advantage. After the best move, it's -1. It's -1. You want to do knight b4 check. Well, yeah, knight b4 check. Okay. Any other suggestions before I go into it? Bishop b4. All right. I think. Sorry, what's this tempting? C5 you meant, probably? But it doesn't work, bishop b4. Okay, so none of you guys got the correct move, which I wouldn't blame you for, because I never even considered it. So, you know, makes fools from all of us, right? So, c5 is actually second best. c5 is decent because it's second best. But, you know, it's not going to trap the bishop, and you got to be a bit careful, I guess. c5 is still going to be defended by the dark squared bishop no matter what, even if this knight falls. But the problem with c5 is that the knight now comes alive. This knight has been shit on c3 like forever, and now we just let it go. And yeah, it's white is slightly better. This check doesn't really do much. The king just goes to b1, and what have we achieved? This was a bit of a one mover, right? This pawn is hanging. We kind of need to go back, and the position hasn't changed for us, but white just got to move for free, and the king is perfectly fine on b1. So yeah, this check isn't great. Bishop b4. What does it do, bishop b4? You want to maybe capture the knight, so that, you know, maybe you can capture this pawn at some point. So the move that is going to probably shock you is bishop c5. The move is bishop c5. I never even looked at it, and I should have. Suddenly, you maybe start realizing why bishop c5. We're attacking that bishop, and it is trapped. The bishop is trapped. So, the only way to not lose the bishop is to take on c5, right? Right? So, after takes and knight takes, it's not that great for white anymore. It's not that great for white. You might say, hey, wait a second. But after all of that, don't we just lose another pawn? Do we? Don't we? Do you see a problem with bishop 6 c4, everyone? There is a fork. What fork? I don't see a fork. Knight e3 check. Yes. So that fork. Yes. So that's the problem with taking the pawn. And the king cannot defend the bishop because that square is occupied. So we just have the free bishop. So essentially the main idea here to grab the advantage for black was that bishop is very annoying and it controls a very long diagonal. What we're doing is we're killing two birds with one stone. We are forcing this bishop to leave the board. We are developing our bishop. We're basically exchanging our bishop, which hasn't been doing much, for our opponent's very powerful bishop through this. And after we've done exchanging, we've connected the rooks, right? We've opened the rook back up, and our pawn is still defended tactically. And don't forget, we still get this knight. And that knight now springs to life because that bishop on a7, the dark squared bishop, is gone. The dark squared bishop was controlling f2 and e3. It's not controlling them anymore, and the knight can come and cause serious damage in the position, right? So without being able, is the dark's bishop white's best piece? Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Black bad's gonna go. Yeah, it's a shame that you're gonna go, but yeah, it's always a pleasure to have you here, my friend, and I do encourage you to come back tomorrow and the day after and the day after, so I could, you know, play you and stuff. Sorry for streaming too late, but it's just that the game took that long. How long have you been playing chess for? Hi there, Wyoming. Is that a reference? Is that a Balotelli reference? Oh no, I'm not sure. He had why always me though. I've been playing chess for about 4 years. Then bishop c5 makes a lot of sense. Yeah, it does. I've never considered it, but it does. And now the best move for white is actually to play rook e1, I guess, to stop the knight e3 thingy. I guess. But we can still go to f2. We can still go to f2, attack that rook, gain a tempo, and then we can go here, and this pawn is amazing, and the knights are defending each other. What made you start playing chess? Boredom, basically. It's a long story, my friend. It's a long story, but I was graduating. I was in my last year of university, and I felt like I wanted to have a new hobby to fill the void that is going to be there after I graduate, because studying took a lot of time and I will no longer study, etc. So these nights, exactly. So yes, but I never considered it, but it's like you never considered it as well, and I think it's a very instructive moment. Sometimes the best move is the one that forces an exchange of your opponent's most powerful piece, which when you say that out loud makes a lot of sense. Doesn't it? So there you go. There you go. So I never considered it. It's a shame. I would have had a much more pleasant position if I did. Instead of bishop c5, what I did was not as good. Not as good. I can tell you that for free. Bishop takes a7. I'm just taking my notes. And yeah, I just took that pawn. And the calculation was we're just going to exchange a couple of pawns, which did happen. So after that takes, and that takes. And my knight is still defending that pawn, so it's still okay, right? And also this bishop is attacked. I don't understand. I don't understand. Exactly. I don't understand, my friend. What were you saying? That's some sort of a joke in your mother tongue. So I'm attacking that bishop, I'm defending that pawn, although you've got to admit that this knight is very precarious on f4. It can be dislodged very quickly. So bishop has to be addressed somehow, the situation with the bishop, so retreats to b3. And the position is like equal. The position is equal. And this is where I start thinking, because I don't want to lose that pawn, but I might have to lose that pawn. And doing so with check as well. How many hours every day do you play chess? Depends. It's just that what we're doing right now, sorry for not cluing you in. We're looking at my game that I played in the tournament today. And after we're done analyzing this game, I'm going to start playing viewers. So that's the plan. Which is in about 10 minutes probably we're going to be done with the game. It depends. Sometimes I don't play that much, maybe an hour less, sometimes much more than that. It depends on the day. What about you, my friend? Where do you come from? What country? Welcome to the community. So, knight f4. I gave up on chess. Aw, maybe you should come back. But, you know, you're not forced to play if you don't enjoy it. So, let me guys explain the sequence that was in my head, right? So I thought, I want to keep that pawn, but I probably cannot. The pawn is defended by this knight, which is bound to be dislodged by g3. There's not much I can do about that. The plan was the following. I wanted to play knight e to d3. The knight is still there. And then, after g3 comes, I can do this intermezzo check and make the king quite bad. I can make the king quite bad. The king needs to go to b1. If king goes to c1, I can do another intermezzo check, which is not great. So king b1. And now that my knight has to go, and it probably wants to go to d3, I will lose that pawn with check, like so. And after king c7, I thought I was okay. And actually I am still okay. Like, this position is okay. I've got very nice connected knights. I am down a pawn, and these bishops are annoying, but this pawn ain't that great. It can probably be at some point rounded up, maybe and captured. And like I said, my knights are great. I'm back. Nice. Nice. Welcome back. So that was my idea, and it did, like, all of that happened. All of that happened on the board. So... Also, do you think the questions are distracting? No, 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 no. I always answer questions from literally anyone, any kinds of questions. I think in my specific case, what makes me improve the most is that I just play, right? It's not for everyone. And like, some people don't like that, but I just play a lot. I play a lot, and I just get a lot of practice games in. A lot of practice, and it's not, sometimes you just play and never improve, but I try to, of course, like, analyze games and such to the best of my ability. So yes, the engine says, okay, so this is what I want to ask you guys. The engine says that this position is equal. It's pretty much zeros. My question to you guys is, which side are you taking here? Which side are you taking? So what, to put it into perspective, white has an extra pawn, which is this one, but it's not the best, right? So it's an isolated pawn. It can probably be ultimately rounded up and taken. Also, white has the bishop pair, and these are very good bishops. Like, I cannot deny that. These bishops are very annoying, and they're cutting through my own half like butter. But on balance, we've got very nice advanced knights, which are superfluous and defending each other quite nicely. At some point, we're probably going to untangle ourselves. The rook is kind of weird on a1. The rook isn't that bad as you think, actually, and I will explain in a minute. I will explain in a minute. So you guys, are you guys saying black just because I was playing black, or you legitimately in this position like black? Don't forget, white has an extra pawn. Hello, and it has the bishop pair. What was the biggest tournament you competed in? It doesn't, I mean, I competed in many tournaments of similar size, let's just say. There isn't any distinct one. Like, the tournament I am playing in right now is quite big as well. I would take black. I feel like I'm more development with rook on d8. I don't like my rooks with white. I guess white's moves are more actual. Did you win this game? Ha ha ha! That question we're going to leave to the very end. Black because white's king looks trapped. It doesn't have much space, correct, but it's at the same time it's very safe. At the same time it's very safe. So you guys, you say this rook is shit, right? You say this rook is shit. But did you ever think about how this rook can become not shit very, very easily. I'm saying hypothetically, not right now, but hypothetically. After a5, a6, and, you know, pushing, opening up the line and start annoying me from here. Just because the rook is on a1 and everything is kind of stuck here doesn't mean that this rook can't become unshed after like pushing the pawn forward. So yeah, like I said, this position is equal, and I guess it's a matter of taste which one you prefer. So after king c7, my opponent played a5. a5, I said. a5 with a very obvious idea. I guess you can spot that. And again, it's a second opportunity I get to play bishop c5 with exactly the same idea. The idea is exactly the same, like it used to be. So takes, the knight comes onto this nice square and forks like this stuff. And on top of that, I get a very nice open file for my rook, and I can start like going to rook d2 and start yummy, maybe in the future. But again, didn't play it. It's a shame. It's a shame that I missed it. Why does your webcam remind me of Google Pro? Ah, you're not the first person to say that. A lot of people say that my frame for the webcam looks like a Google logo. Yeah, maybe I'm just maybe I'm just working at Google, which I'm not. But yeah, you're correct. You're not the first person to point it out. But I was more so worried about this action, obviously. So I never played bishop c5, which is a shame. I played the only move which I thought at the time made sense, and I played rook d6. Do you stream daily? That is correct. That is correct. We are doing a stream-a-thon. Today's day 10, and the title literally says that I stream every day. We're trying to get to 50 viewers as quickly as possible, and that's why you need to like the stream, subscribe if you haven't, notification bell so you don't miss the next ones, etc, etc. What about rook e8 after the threats? What do you mean, when? Like right now, rook e8? Like right now? Or like this, the bishop goes like c4, for example, and now rook e8. My rook belongs on d2 though. Once I get the opportunity, I need to do that, I feel. I liked YouTube shows, but I stopped getting them recommended. I subscribed because of that. Yeah, you see, it's good that you bring that up because, you know, YouTube sometimes is a biatch, right? So my YouTube shorts at some point got massive amounts of views and then just nothing. So it's good for you to come on my stream, and I really appreciate that because we need every bit of support. Not that rook. Ah, okay, not that rook. The other one. Like when no pieces are hanging, the other one. Nah, this is a legit move. I think this is also fine. Yeah, this is okay. In my opinion, this is okay. And the engine, I'm looking at it, is confirming that as well. But like, this, I could swear I thought you were big and not to be rude or anything. No, it's not rude, my friend. It's not rude at all. It's just that our channel has suffered from YouTube a little bit. It got a bit of traction from shorts, but shorts didn't really translate into like views of normal content. And then when the shorts died, so did, you know, the views in general. So yes, that's why. Yeah, that's why we're not as big as you might think, but we are still great. All the luck. Thank you very much. Well, you can help with that if you like the stream. Like my shorts at their peak, some of them were getting millions of views. And once it all settles down, once the dust settles down, like people forget about it because YouTube doesn't recommend stuff, and that's a shame. But you know, let's get back to the game, shall we? Like it's quite irrelevant. So I played rook d6. I played rook d6 because I was more concerned about that threat. And Nick also found me through shorts, very nice. And then this check came in still, and my king literally has the only square here. Not gonna lie, not really into chess, but I like your persona. Thank you very much. It's very nice. It's very nice. You don't have to be into chess to watch the stream or try and enjoy the stream. In fact, we can talk about anything but chess. You can ask me all kinds of questions. I answer everything I can, unless it's something very, very sensitive. And I'm gonna hop off, but I'll try coming tomorrow. No problem, no problem. And it's really nice to have you here. I'm kind of busy, no problem. It's really nice. And thank you very much. Sorry, I'm just looking at the score sheet. So, we've got King B8. And this bishop is attacked, obviously, so moves it and moves it to c4. And we've got a lot of tension in here. We've got a lot of tension in this position, especially after I play bishop g7. Because what you need to understand also, take care, my friend. What you understand also, which I never mentioned up to this point, is that I was always worried about my rook getting trapped. You see how these bishops are, like I said, very annoying. And I was always worried about the potential bishop d4, for example, and my rook has literally no squares. So what was I supposed to do then? Sacrifice the bishop so that the rook can get out? So I was always wary about that. And I wanted to get rid of that threat as soon as I could. So I played bishop g7 so that the rook is unstuck and the diagonal is defended. And maybe I've got some future threats on b2 or something. Alright, so bishop g7, rook d1. And now the structure is a bit crumbling. Not that it's crumbling, but it's very sensitive, if you see what I mean. It wouldn't take you long to see that the knight is already under some pressure. And Frank stalemate again. Back from the pork jams, are you? And we've got to be really careful because the knight is under big pressure and it's also pinned because the rook, you know, if the knight moves away, the rook is free, right? So I have to be really careful. And here I'm like really worried about my great knights just being a nuisance more than anything. After all of that. So I am starting to move my king c8. Frank the Tank stalemated. Yeah, you're not the first one to point that out. So king c8, because I wanted to, if I need, to play king d7 so that it at least protects the rook. That was the idea. And apparently this is a blunder or a mistake because white can play e5. White can play e5. And I missed that. And so did my opponent. That didn't happen. But it's winning because after bishop takes, for instance, we've got this, like the knight comes into life. And the rook literally has no squares. The rook literally has no squares at all. And the knight is hanging if the rook is gone and it's a disaster. So I didn't account for that. That would have been really stupid. But you know, don't count your chickens yet. So king c8, and then bishop c5 instead. So not e5 but bishop c5, and putting a bit more pressure on the knight and attacking my rook. Obviously, I retreat to d8 because I got opportunity to do that, and now the position is simplified a little bit. So bishop takes d3 and then knight takes d3. And at this point, when this position took place, I saw a move that I thought was winning for white. And I shat my pants. I literally shat my pants. Like I was told by the adjudicator of the tournament to go change my pants because it was smelly. I shat my pants because once we exchanged the knights, I saw a move that was winning for white, and I was thinking, shit, if he sees that, I'm screwed. And the engine is confirming that it is indeed the best move and white is winning after that. Can you find it? Can you find it? Because once I saw it, I saw it too late, but even if I saw it early, I don't think I could have prevented it. But yeah, this position is winning if white plays one move that I lost my shit about and I shit my pants. Do you have any ideas as to what that move can be? Can you find it? Don't, you know, take your time if you need. Take your time if you need. There is one move that is completely decimating me. And as soon as I saw that, I was like, boy. Knight A4. Welcome back to the stream, Alexander. Didn't realize you were here. B6. B6. You mean what, bishop b6 or b3? Good evening. Good evening to you, sir, as well. a6. My bad. No problem. So we've got some suggestions. We've got a6. We've got knight a4. Any others? Yeah, that move that I'm about to show is just winning for white, and it's horrible. It's horrible. And the opponent was also looking at that side of the board where the move is, and I was like, shit, don't see it. Ah. So any other ones? Did the guys just go to watch Pork Champs? These brats. Okay, so if you're not getting any other ones, yeah. So the correct answer is Rook F1. I don't see the problem with Rook F1. I don't see the problem with Rook F1. A bit passive. The problem is A6. A6 and we're kind of screwed. A6 and we're kind of screwed, aren't we? I can't ignore it. Rook F1 hangs the bishop, yeah, as a minimum. A6 and yeah, it's really sucky. It's really sucky. So if you take the bishop, which is nominally free, so like for example, rook takes, I don't know, king takes or rook takes, doesn't matter, and then you play a7, obviously, and then so that the opponent doesn't queen, we need to sack a rook. And this is in a very good position. And it's only one development, right? So the best we can do now is take the pawn, but then the rook comes in. And now, those of you prats who are saying that rook on a1 is complete garbage, what about now? What about now? It very organically, without needing to even move the king, very organically, just push the pawn forward enough, and now the rook is amazing. This bishop is amazing, and knight just suck. Don't forget this knight is still a problem. And if you want to say, well, I stand corrected, that took is great. Yeah. You can take the free bishop, I guess. You can do that, but you know, you can lose your knight again. Is knight a4 any good? Nah, knight a4, but what's the point of knight a4? It looks a bit passive. It looks a bit passive to me. Knight a4 and, well, first of all, knight a4, it undefends b2 for starters. Just enough defense, but I don't know. Like, takes bishop, takes. Where is white's advantage anymore? Where is white's advantage anymore? Yeah, but the rook is hanging? Where? What rook is hanging? Now a6. Now a6? Well, it's not your move. It's not your move. I guess I go here. And, you know, king a2. I don't really want to exchange rooks. Never mind. You probably saw something that wasn't there. Probably saw something that wasn't there. Okay, so back to the thing. a6 did not happen. Yes, a6 did not happen. My opponent didn't see it. I saw it, but my opponent didn't. a6 didn't happen. Instead, the bishop went back to b6 to threaten my rook again. Rook d7. And a6 still works, by the way. Mohammed, welcome to the stream. a6 still works, by the way. In this position, nothing has changed, or very little has changed. And I was still worried about a6. a6 didn't get played, though. King c2 was played. And king c2 is fine, is completely fine. Nothing wrong with king c2. White at this point in time is already pretty much winning. My knights are gone. My great knights are gone. I have serious problems on the dark squares here. And this pawn is looking stronger and stronger. Because, you know, this pawn ain't that easily capturable anymore. And this knight also is going to become strong again. Like, the engine right now says it's plus 1.5. So essentially winning for white. And it's very hard to do anything. So king c2. And knight b3 check? You meant knight b4 check. Knight b4 check is a move that I think, you know, not that a beginner would play, but, you know, you see a knight attacked, and if you want to retreat it, you think of checks, right? Do you not just have repetition? What kind of repetition? Like, you probably forget that the king goes to b3. The king has now b3 available, so there isn't repetition. You probably forgot about that. So yes, I was thinking, like, of course the first is, that is my game, Mohammed, yes. So the first move you think about is a check, right? But I am not stupid, at least not stupid enough. I recognized that probably this move, like, what does it do? Like, what does this check do for me? What does this check do? I deliver this check, the king only develops itself. The king is better on b3 than on c2, and my knight is still attacked. What have I achieved? Nothing. So, rook trade. Yeah, probably don't want to trade rooks when I'm a pawn down. I need to keep the rooks on the board, otherwise it's going to be quite sucky. I thought I hung a rook. Ah, you thought these weren't connected. Okay. At worst, this knight can like still defend, even without them being connected. So this check is a bit shit. So I went to e5, knight e5, which is the best move. You may be worried at some point that the bishop pins the knight to the bishop, but I kind of saw through it, and I concluded it was okay, and it was okay. My position is bad for different reasons. So an exchange of rooks happened, which I was kind of happy about, but the position is winning for white still. And now bishop, I apologize.